What if the life we're living isn't the whole story? What if the things we call endings are only doors we don't know how to open? What if we're spending our whole lives trying to become somebody when we were supposed to discover who we already were? I've been staring at the ceiling, asking questions in the dark. Like, what's the point of building if we're destined to depart? We chase a dollar, chase a name, chase a number on a chart, then wonder why we're empty when we finally get the parts. Everybody says you got time, but nobody knows the amount. We make plans for tomorrow, like tomorrow's guaranteed to come around. I watch people turn to memories, pictures sitting in a frame, and I started wondering if death is really just another name. Maybe all these scars are maps to a place we haven't seen. Maybe every loss we carry isn't meaningless or clean. Maybe we're more than flesh and bone, more than a job, more than a phone, more than every mistake we've made when we thought we were alone. And I don't know what waits beyond this life, I won't pretend that I do. But if this is all we ever get, then what are we gonna do? What if this isn't all there is? What if the end ain't really the end? What if the people that we lose aren't gone the way we think they are? What if every broken piece was leading somewhere we can't see? What if we're more than what we've been told? What if this isn't all there is? Yeah. What if heaven isn't somewhere you can point to in the sky? What if God is in the moments that we almost pass right by? In the hand that held you up when you couldn't stand alone? In the stranger who showed kindness in the call you almost didn't phone? What if purpose isn't waiting at the finish line ahead? What if purpose is the person that you become before you're dead? I used to think that being strong meant never showing pain. Now I think it's looking at the storm and choosing not to change. What if failure isn't failure if it teaches you to grow? What if every closed door was protecting you from roads you weren't supposed to know? And what if all the things we thought we had to prove were just distractions from the question, did you really live the life you chose? What if this isn't all there is? What if the end ain't really the end? What if the people that we lose aren't gone the way we think they are? What if every broken piece was leading somewhere we can't see? What if we're more than what we've been told? What if this isn't all there is? One day, you're gonna look back at the life you lived, not at the money, not at the followers, not at the car, not at the house. You're gonna remember the people you loved, the moments you were afraid, but did it anyway. The times you could have become bitter, but chose to stay human. And maybe that's the answer. Maybe we're not here to figure out everything. Maybe we're here to experience something worth remembering. So if you're listening to this wondering whether your life has meaning, maybe the fact that you're still searching means the story isn't finished. So I'm done pretending I know what comes after. Done being afraid of every chapter. Death is the doorway, then life is the question, and I'm gonna answer it with every breath I'm giving. I'm gonna love like tomorrow isn't promised. Forgive like carrying hate is too costly. Tell the people that I love them while they're here, cause one day the silence might be all that I hear. I'ma chase what makes my soul feel alive, not just what makes me look successful outside. If I fall, let me fall while I'm trying to fly. I'd rather risk the failure than spend my whole life asking why. Maybe we're temporary, maybe we're eternal, maybe we're something in between. But if this moment is all I have, then I'm gonna make this moment mean something. What if this isn't all there is? What if the end ain't really the end? What if every goodbye isn't goodbye forever? What if every tear we cry was teaching us how to live? What if the mystery is the reason we were given the gift? What if this isn't all But until that day, I'll live like there's something worth becoming. What if this isn't all there is? Maybe the question isn't
what happens when we die?
Maybe the question is,
what are you gonna do while you're alive?